What is the most disturbing thing you've seen done to a child? My ex-wife's brother and wife had 2 boys at the time that this happened. The oldest 4, the youngest 2. They were a-hole parents to begin with, but a lot of parents are mean to their kids, so it was like, what can you do? We go over to their house one day for a visit. We didn't see the kids, so my ex asked where they were. They said, oh, they're in their bedroom playing. Okay. A short while later, I went to use the restroom. As I was walking back to the living room, I decided to say hi to the boys. I tried opening the door, it's locked. The lock was on the outside of the door, so I knew the parents had locked that door, not the kids. I was pissed. I asked the parents, what the F did y'all lock your kids up? Oh, we just did that so they wouldn't bug us while we visited, is what they told me. I told them that was sick in my opinion, and my ex and I left immediately. I thought it over later that evening, and made a decision that still haunts me and will the rest of my life. I decided not to report them to child services. Not that it would have made a difference. They had child services called on them by somebody, or some people, 4 times in the 4 years they had been parents. There was never anything done. In fact, one of those times the caseworker came to their house, and my brother-in-law told them straight up, you can't come into my house. The caseworker left and that was the end of that particular case. About 2 months after we had gone to their house, we get a call from my brother-in-law. The 2-year-old was in the emergency room, supposedly because he had fallen out of his bed. We went to the hospital, and this poor baby's head was swollen to twice its normal size. Before I continue, I want to say, he recovered, that time. Nobody believed, including the doctor, that he had just fallen out of bed. An investigation was started and then their story changed. They started saying that a friend of theirs had watched the kids a few nights before, and although it took 3 days for his head to start swelling, the injury took place then. Sounds unbelievable, right? It gets crazier. Based off of their crazy story, the friend was investigated and was actually put on trial for it. Based off of all the people that testified to the court about the parents' history of horrible parenting, they ended up dropping the case against the friend. Even my brother-in-law's own parents testified to their bad parenting. After the case was dismissed, they dropped the matter completely instead of looking at the parents again. Through what I knew, had seen, and some of what I was told by my brother-in-law, I think I know exactly what happened. They had them children locked in their room, and the oldest unintentionally and with a little aluminum baseball bat that was in their room, hit the youngest in the head. The parents didn't do anything while his head was swelling for 3 days out of fear of getting in trouble and only took him to the ER when it became obvious that he wasn't just going to get better. Fast forward 5 months, July 4th, 2009. Me and my ex were at my sister's house celebrating the 4th of July. My ex gets a call. The boy's mom had fallen asleep inside while her kids played outside. They got into the pool in their front yard. The youngest had drowned and was rushed to the hospital. He didn't make it that time. I think about it every day of my life. I try to rationalize my decision not to call child services that day by telling myself others called and it didn't help, so me calling wouldn't have helped anyway. The truth is that I effed up. I should have called anyway and I'll live with that the rest of my life. I'll have a life though, which is more than that baby got, and I hate myself for that. R.I.P. Caleb.